Hi, welcome to OCPA's Education Data Tool. We've put together a comprehensive list of spending that occurs in Oklahoma public schools, and we hope that this tutorial will help you navigate it easily and help you find the data that you're looking for. Now, to begin, if you click on the Overview tab, you can see the educational spending in Oklahoma from 2006 to 2016. You can also see the increase or decrease in students per year, as well as the fluctuation of spending per student if you scroll on down to the blue graph at the bottom of the tab. Now, go back up to the top. If you click over on the next tab, which says District Trends, you can search for spending based on school districts. Now, this menu lets you choose any of Oklahoma's over 500 school districts, if you choose the menu on the left. Just for example, we will go with Duncan. Now, once you choose Duncan, if you follow the first line, you can see how much the Duncan School District spends each year. The graph in green below that shows the annual increase and decrease of student enrollment in Duncan. And at the bottom of this tab, you can see the difference between the differences between the revenue taken in by the school and the spending per student by the school. And if you follow along that line, you can also see exact dollar amounts there as well. Now go back up to the top, and if you can click on district spending by year, the numbers are broken down even further. On the left side, you can choose what year you want to look at, and we will look at 2014. Now, for example, in 2014, Duncan spent $36 million in total. They had 3,763 students enrolled, which meant that they spent an average of $9,692 per student. Now, also on this page, you can see how much they spent on school functions, $14.5 million on instructions, and $12.8 million on support services, as well as a few other categories. Now look to your right, and it breaks down those totals of function spending by year so that you can compare the changes annually. If you hold your mouse over part of this column, it will give you the exact dollar amount associated with that part of the function spending. Now if you want the same numbers broken down into different categories, scroll to the graphs farther down. The second graph will tell you how much money Duncan School District spent again, but this time it's broken into categories such as salaries, benefits, supplies, and then the other educational items from 2014. To the right of that, under Trends, it breaks down this spending by percentages. But what exactly are the breakdowns of functions and spending? Now you go back up to your top and click on the Function Details tab. And on this tab, it gives you an overview of the Duncan Schools District function spending categories from 2006 to 2016. And here we have both the exact numbers and the total dollar amounts. Now at the bottom of this tab, it breaks down each and every number there is. Do you want to know how much the district is spending on vehicle operation services, or library media services, or say office of the principal services? By the way, that last number is $1.6 million in 1 year alone. You can also look at things like audit services, food and milk spending, and scholarship funds. Now, if you want the same numbers broken down in yet a different way, go up to the top and choose the Spending Details tab. And the Spending Details is where you find all the salaries broken down yet again. On this chart, we find the numbers for regular certified salaries, that's your regular teachers, as well as non-certified salaries, certified and non-certified stipends, and non-used sick leave. Now, in 2014 alone, the Duncan School District spent $11.2 million on certified salaries, your regular teachers again, but it also spent $20,621 on unused sick leave for non-certified staff. Now, what else does this chart show, or this tab? We have breakdowns for retirement, we have breakdowns for FICA, for health insurance, for dental insurance, and more. Under supplies, you can look at the exact amount spent on things like furniture, diesel, instruments, magazines, and appliances. Now that you've seen how the school districts spend its money, go up to the top and click on Revenue to see where the district gets the money. Now this breaks down the number by how much the school receives from federal, district, and state levels. So were you wondering how much money the state allocated to the Duncan School District? Well, in 2014, the state gave Duncan $15.8 million, and the graph below shows the fluctuation in revenue per student over the time period studied. Now, the next tab breaks down the revenue funds. It's the one called Revenue Details. It breaks that down by year, so we have the Building Fund, the Activity Fund, the Child Nutrition Fund, and the total revenue for all these funds was $48.7 million in 2014. Now, the bottom graph on this tab shows what goes into all of those categories. The building fund is broken down into cash forward, interest earning, etc. The school activity fund is broken down into student store sales, concessions, admissions, and so forth and so on. And we can see that the Duncan School District also got $71,000 in endowments alone in 2014. So go back up to the top, and our final tab is going to show the statewide rankings and the relative impact of whatever district you're looking at. We can see that Duncan is actually pretty close to the top of the rankings in spending, but then again, it's also close to the top of the rankings in enrollment. And if you look farther down the page, we also have breakdowns for revenue and spending per students. In 2014, Oklahoma City received the most revenue in the state, with Tulsa pretty close on it heels at second. Now, remember, you can view all of this data for every district and for every year. If you want to look at Liberty School District in 2007 or Edmond School District in 2011, all you have to do is go and reset the district spending and reset the criteria for the district and the year. So we hope that you have a educational time using our data tool and that you find all the information you're looking for. And thanks for using our resources.